suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
It's one of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another week of Stoned Appetit, the greatest food and cannabis podcast that our parents have ever listened to. I'm your host, Kip Wilson, and to my left on the casting couch, I got CB, and we're back in the Seed Money Studios. How are you, CB?
I'm doing great. Number one, we've got Eve in the house. Number two, our audio is going to be better. And number three, we're in the studio. This is going to be a great episode. I can't wait to hear about Eve's adventures. And also, you got up there and outside this weekend.
Do I look tan and a little bit swole?
It's a tan.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that. That's 1 out of 2.
You do look slightly tan. You have that little glow to you. So
I did a little 70, but we'll dive into my weekend. The queen of the pod is back, and it's her episode. How was vacation? It's been so long since I took one. I just want to know.
Tell us everything.
I don't know where to start. It was good.
Start at the beginning.
No, we're going to start
You need
with
to
some
ask
fun
me.
stuff. Let's do a quick intro. We've got Eve's recap of Yellowstone. That's 7 days of madness, 4 days of antagonizing her leading up to the event, as well as texting her regularly throughout her whole vacation. It was awesome. I loved it, every minute of it, Chris. We're going to dive into that. We will talk about rafting, ziplining, South Park. How close were they to the concept, as well as the dank eats that both of us had over the weekend. But before we dive into all that, Chris, I just got back from Birdcall. Check out the shirt.
I want a shirt.
Yeah, well, my nips are poking because it's a medium. This one may have been for Eve, but
Or the extra tots you had.
that could have been the case as well. But they have a new product coming out, and I think I can say it by now because we'll drop this post about the same time. Nashville hot chicken tenders. And while they still have a little bit of the oil, it's almost like it's a dry rub instead of like that wet, saucy, your fingers are, like dripping with oil. And it's a wonderful, delicate dance between the actual spice of the peppers and then you get the flavor of that garlic powder. So it's actually kind of a little bit fuller, rounded flavor. I got to sample them today. I was happier than a pig in shit. It's just another reason it's better than the competition.
What do you get, like 3 to 4 tendies an order?
You can get 3, 5, or 8. Chris, I'm glad you asked. Yes, sir. And this is not a limited time offer with a great fundraiser associated to it. While they will be doing shit like that this month, this is a keeper, and rightfully so. It slaps. And they have locations strewn across Colorado, 3 in Arizona, 3 in Texas. If you're going to eat some casual fare, go in, Blazy McSusan, grab it right out of the kiosk. You'll be back in your car and on your couch in no time. They also have delivery as well. So shout out to our friends over at Birdcall. We did a kick-ass social media post while Eve was gone. Did you see it?
I did.
Yeah, our friends at
Is
Seed
that the
Money.
one where your feet were dangling at the park?
Did I look like a girl with a crush in a diary?
It took me to like the intro to like Sound of Music or something where they're frolicking in the field.
I was going for gossiping with a gal pal for like a slumber party.
Talking about hot guys.
Yeah, exactly that. Or, just dialing *67 and throwing in a phone number. Well, you don't have to hide your phone number when you reach out to Seed Money Consulting. The reason my legs were kicking was because we're excited about the money that we save. They take care of my finances so that I can focus on things like eating fuck tons of desserts in the park or drinking Rickies at 10:30 in the morning. All of those things and more are available to me because I let the professionals stay in their lane and I stay in my lane. Seed Money Consulting, they do everything from tax paperwork to handling bookkeeping and payroll, no matter your size of company. They focus especially on companies here in Colorado, folks that maybe work in our spaces, the hospitality industry, if you're a small business owner, a content creator, or maybe you're in that little fugazi scene in the cannabis space where you're not sure if you're leaving money on the table because of the laws around it. No matter your situation, if you are small to medium business size owner, you need to be having a conversation with Seed Money Consulting. For a small fee, you sign up for the CFO in a box, and then you just let your worries dissipate. It's wonderful. They're located right here in Greenwood Village, just south of downtown, and they have experience working with a wide array of industries, not just the ones we mentioned here before. Google Seed Money Consulting, it doesn't fucking matter. I don't know their actual website, but we love them over there and we vouch for them. All right, back to it, Chris. You lead the conversation with Eve. She likes you more.
All right, so Eve, first of all, we were a little bit worried with the tire incident that you weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
It seemed like the world was turning against you.
Yes.
Ooh.
It seemed like a bear attack was imminent.
Oh, come on.
But let's give everybody the rundown.
So,
How'd you get a screw
when
in
did you
your
get up
tire?
there? Where'd you stay? And what?
Start with the screw
where
in the
all
tire
did you
and the
go?
drive.
No, I mean, that's the least interesting part. I was just like checking my air pressure, even though I didn't really need to. And then I saw a giant ass screw, and I was like, motherfucker. And then I was leaving on Memorial Day, and I guess everything's closed. Although I thought tire places would be open for sales. I don't know. I thought shit was open, but
The Memorial Day sale weekend.
and I was
Yeah,
gonna
gotcha.
leave on Monday, and then luckily I was at Costco, and bless those Costco mechanics. They were all super nice. Like 5 different dudes looked at it, and it wasn't leaking air or anything. And they're like, "You should be fine." Yeah, I'd probably drive on it. And I was like, "I don't want to fucking drive." Like I was nervous. And then one guy offered to take it out. He's like, "I think I can take it out," because it was on like the outer tread, and he took it out. And it didn't leak at all, and it's been fine, and they were all really nice to me, so shout
Did
out
they
to the
patch it
Costco.
or anything, or you
No,
just
no.
riding around with a small hole?
Well, it was enough
do that
in the
every day.
outer tread enough, I guess. It was in like the fatty part, like the outer
okay.
part. But it was like a big ass screw, and it was fucking sharp, and I was like, mother. So check your tires, maybe not the day before you're supposed to leave.
True.
Tip to myself.
Okay.
But thankfully that passed.
So you got on the road.
Got on the road.
How was that
Easy
drive?
drive. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
But I think it was because I mentally prepared myself for it to really, really suck. And then it was just like, okay.
Did you
Like,
stop
yeah.
at Buc-ee's?
I did not, because I passed it like a half hour into my drive.
Right.
You can't stop
You
the flow.
got to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, it was too early. Didn't hit it on the way back because I just wanted to get home. So
Okay, so paint the picture for
Yeah.
when you came over the pass and first saw the teats.
Tetons. The teats. It was kind of crazy. It almost felt like they were just like plopped down. You know what I mean? Like it didn't look like it was actually there. It seems kind of like surreal, at least in my brain. And like any pictures I took, I feel like didn't do it justice. Like those ones I sent you, they were a little better because it was like closer, but still, the few times I like tried to take pictures from my car, I'm like, this looks like shit. Like you don't get it. Like
Right.
you need to see it in person.
Well, it's funny because when you're driving there, it's not like the Front Range where you just see like a ton of mountain ranges. Driving up there, like there's really not much in the way of landscape, and then
Yeah,
you get
not much
there
to
and you
look at.
see those.
Yeah.
So what'd you do?
I feel like when I did my trip, we got to just outside the park at night, and it's kind of like when you go to Moab, you wake up and you're like over a hole or something of that nature, but you wake up and you're like, Jesus fuck, that is like gargantuan. And I guess surreal would be the best way to describe it, because even with the pictures we shared of like with Jerry Bear at that park or whatever, it's like, this is not like holy, it's like Switzerland of
Yeah,
America.
it doesn't feel.
Just much terrible, like worse.
And they feel
politics.
more like jagged. Like there's
Yeah.
like a big thing.
Steep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously it's a great ski mountain, but like it's like, oh fuck. What time did you like catch that? Was that golden hour? Because the light was kind of dimming.
No,
on
I
you.
got there pretty early. I got there around like 2:30. I went to Jackson Hole to like grab some food.
What'd you think of the town? Where'd you get food?
You didn't take a picture under the antlers?
No, I kind of
You're the
wanted to.
worst fucking
It was just me.
Yeah,
So
I know.
ask somebody.
I know. I kind of wanted to, but I was like, I don't know.
Or take a selfie.
I know.
Hey, y'all know we do this for a living.
Even I
I
got
took
a picture
selfies,
of it.
and I took selfies with more stuff behind me than just the.
Okay, hell yeah.
Okay.
So I did
Where,
that.
Where'd you eat in Jackson Hole?
I went to Pearl Street Bagels, which is pretty delicious, I'll say.
Okay. Shout out
We don't
to
hear a lot
Eve's
of
recommendation.
We don't hear a lot of PDs out of her.
What
That's
what
really
what
nice.
type of bagel did you get? Just
I got, I think, a tomato basil
tomato basil?
and like a sandwich. I got
All
like, a
right,
sandwich. You're getting two in the minutia here.
That was way too in the weeds, but
But
I
it sucked
love
because
it.
all the restaurants I wanted to try didn't open till 4, and by the time I was already like back, I didn't want to like come back
Yeah.
and forth. But yeah. Then I went to Jenny Lake my first day. Just hiked half of it because I just wanted to see the Tetons. I didn't need to do the whole lake,
Was
'cause
it
on the
packed?
other side. No, it wasn't that packed.
Maybe it was. I mean,
If
you
you go
got
to
there
a
the
park
week after.
anytime after like unless you go super early. If you go after lunch, like after 2, I feel like most parks you're pretty safe.
Yeah.
Because I could find parking. I feel like it dies off after lunch, and especially if you go like anytime after 4, you're like
You get those
good.
kids in naps, and all the buses have already come through. Did you see all the buses of people?
I saw a couple buses, not too many.
RVs?
Oh, really?
Not too many.
Maybe you were just there at the right after the holiday was
More,
the peak
I think
time.
more
but-
RVs than anything.
Yeah,
but
there's
also
a
the smaller RVs too, not like the giant house ones, kind of like the smaller ones. But so did Jenny Lake, which was cool, and then stayed outside of like 30 minutes from there at like a ranch, and there was like a mouse in my room at night. Like,
Are you a freak out?
here's
Because
the
you
thing.
don't really feel like a freak out person. You're probably not
No.
necessarily like, oh, I hope it gets
I
in
think
the bed
rodents
with me.
probably
It-
freak her out.
It was just the wrong time. It pissed me off because I brought my food in and it was like crinkling my paper bag. And I think I'd just fallen asleep and then I heard it crinkling the bag. If I hadn't, and it annoyed me, I wish they just told me, like, don't bring food in. There will be mice because it's a ranch, so I understand. But I just, like, wasn't mentally prepared. So I remember just, like, listening to the bag crinkling and then, like, turning on my light and then just, like, staring at the bag and then, like, a little mouse popped out. And I was like, motherfuckers. And then I had to, like, take my food into my car at midnight, which luckily was right next to my cabin. But
That's
it was
when
just, like,
bear could have attacked you.
right. So I was just, like, not in the mood for it. It wasn't, like, terrible. I wasn't freaked out, but I was just, like, not now.
Without the
Not
food,
now.
could you hear mouse?
I heard
scurry?
I heard scurrying later, and I just like was like hyper focusing on it. So I was just like in bed, like getting paranoid for some reason. I was scared it was a rat. So when a mouse popped up, I was like, oh, thank Christ.
Oh yeah, those aren't gonna bother you.
Yeah. But I just couldn't like relax. Mice don't bother me, but for some reason I just like wasn't prepared. So like I didn't sleep that much that night because I just heard scurrying, and I
Yeah.
would sometimes talk out loud. I'd be like, stop moving. 'Cause mice don't like noise, so I would just like talk out loud. So I was like, I'm
So
trying
you
to
took-
sleep.
You spoke to the mouse.
I did.
You
Nice.
talked to the mouse?
I was getting fucking annoyed because like I'm trying to fucking sleep here, and then it
Did
would like
it?
stop.
Did they listen?
It would stop moving.
Did you think about moving the food?
I put it in my car. If you were listening, I had
You
at
put it-
fucking midnight. I
Oh.
took it, and none of my
was
food was
like-
open. Like one chip bag was open, but everything else was sealed in it. But it would have like chewed through.
Were there other cool people like staying at the ranch?
They sounded cool. It sounded like they were having a good time, but I was going to bed.
You
Why
did-
would I fucking
Did
talk
you
to them?
socialize with anybody at the
No,
ranch?
I drove all day.
Okay,
Had-
I can understand.
Yeah,
if the
but I
tank
mean,
is
I'm talking.
empty,
You
but
stayed there all
One
week.
night. No, it was one night.
Oh, okay.
That was
Not the
Never
same
mind.
hotel. Okay.
Okay.
No.
I was about to be like,
This
you
is a
didn't even
ranch.
talk to anybody?
Play games.
This is how Dateline's going to love us. So like, she didn't talk to a single person.
I ate at the restaurant there. Worst fries I've ever had in my entire fucking
Worst?
life. The worst fries.
Give us
No,
the texture. Oh, I
Okay,
guess
go
we're
ahead.
getting a little deep.
you want to guess the texture?
I'm thinking there's the long surfboard style steak frites that were just undercooked and a lower temp than should have been.
No,
Were they crinkles?
no.
Oh man, that would have made this story wonderful. Were they shoes?
They were just regular fries, but they were like so mushy, no taste, no salt, just like thrown in some dirty oil. It looked like.
I love hypercritical Eve now. I think she's hating on French
But
fries
also
across
like
the
small
land.
places like that, I have literally like no
Right.
expectations. And then I got like a soda, and they gave it to me in this giant ass
Big
like
gulp.
cult. Yeah, pretty much. Which was probably about 6 Cokes, which probably I shouldn't have drank that before bed. But
Did you finish it all?
yeah.
And here you are blaming a mouse. She can't sleep. She had
Part of it was
72
the sugar.
fucking
I know.
ounces of sugar.
Yeah, it was a lot of the sugar. It wasn't a good combo, like the mouse plus the
Eve,
sugar.
you got to be smart about these things.
I know, but-
Okay. Okay. So your
Anyway.
first adventure day. What do we do?
Right. So I go to Yellowstone, and just so you guys know, I pretty much saw a bear every day from the road, not hiking around. So that was cool.
Black, brown.
I couldn't tell. They look like black bears to me. And then I went to
They kind of treat them like dogs, whereas the brown ones are a little bit like, oh fuck.
oh, okay.
So the black bears are a little bit.
I don't think you want to fuck with them.
No, but they say black fight back, brown lay down,
Yeah.
white.
Oh.
I can't remember what the white one is, but you're
They're on
already dead.
cocaine.
No, like if you see the white bear, it's already what white's too late, or I can't remember. But the black ones, I feel like they just rummage through garbage, and we're technically in their area, so that may be fair. But a grizzly may fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have the mace?
I didn't have
Okay,
mace.
cool.
Yellow.
So, Chris,
This is all from the
we're
road.
lucky
Chill
she's
out.
here.
It was all in my car. And it's funny, people taking photos of it. Oh, I saw one in the Tetons too, like driving back from Jenny Lake. There's like a crowd of people, and I looked, and there was a bear. But it's funny, they say like stay, like 100 yards away. And these photographers are like They were close.
Yeah.
No one fucking listens.
Yeah.
It's like, they're gonna get you. Saw bears, and I saw these 2 bears at volcano something. It was a geyser sort of thing, but they closed the exhibit, like the walkways. But then if you looked on the hill, there's like 2 bears. So like a crowd of us just like watched it for like 20 minutes, just like standing there. So that was pretty cool because
Yeah.
I didn't go there to see a bear. I was like, oh, look at this thing, and then it was like 2 bears. So it was cool. I saw bears every day. I saw a moose. Saw
Those
a
things
deer.
are huge.
Yeah. Saw deer, saw plenty of bison. I saw some little bison babies. They had little babies. Elk. Oh, I saw 2 coyotes running along the side of the road. I saw a bald eagle when I was leaving the park the day of. It was like on this little fence. Saw it because feathers were so fucking white. That's what like caught my attention. It was just like sitting on a fence post, like a little.
Then they're about the size of a fucking dog. They're
They
huge.
are fucking big, yeah. But they're so white.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that.
I mean,
Those
it's
were the
like the
animals I saw.
Cheyenne Zoo, but like you're in the cage. It's similar to your South Africa trip. but
It's a
just with no-
safari.
It really-
You're out there. That's
I mean,
our
she just
safari.
listed like 12. Like I was like looking up as many as I can and tag, so I can use these as tags when we make her give us all the pictures.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
bison,
so
elk.
you were the first day
bison
you kind of
baby?
explored Yellowstone, and did you
Yeah,
go
the rest
to
of the days I did Yellowstone.
did you go to Old Faithful?
I did.
What thoughts?
Around estimate. Yeah, don't fucking bother, in my opinion. Like,
Did you see it blow its load?
yes,
How many times did you watch that?
once, because
Oh.
it's like,
Everybody knows you turn it
It's
off
like-
after you watch it once. Nobody watches twice. What are you?
because it goes every like hour and a half or 2 hours. It's not that quick. Like I
think
went,
it's shorter than that.
not when I looked on like the Geyser website.
Okay, on the Geyser website.
They have a Geyser.
Wait, you're
prediction
not gonna
site.
take Chris? He's like he watches loads on all the time.
I know
He's
he likes
like-
watching
He's
loads,
like it's
but-
definitely not an hour and a half.
I
to
just-
2 hours. It's
definitely
it's
like
like 4 minutes.
every-
No,
every 3
the
minutes.
actual explosion was like 20 seconds, which kind of bummed me out because I read it can be anywhere from like a minute to like 10 minutes or something, but it was pretty short. I wouldn't go out of my way to see it, so I'm just warning people, like, don't wake up early and like travel all the way. Like, I just happened to be in the area and I was like, okay, I'll see Old Faithful, and then I happened to just make it in time for the explosion, and I was just like, okay, that's
don't
it.
think
I
it-
feel
I don't
like
think
you
it's
saw
'cause-
like a minor instead of like the major. You know, like
Are
a
you
little
sure?
dipper instead of the.
Are you sure you were at Old Faithful?
I'm
like,
positive.
was there a sign that said, "Hey, this is
Yes,
Old Faithful"?
Yes, and there
She
was a
said,
huge
"Nah."
parking lot.
I mean,
that
And
made
there was
me
a
feel-
crowd. Maybe this time of year it's not great, but it was pretty short, and it's just water going up.
how'd that whole area smell to you?
Not too bad. I mean, you get hits of the sulfur, but like Old Faithful didn't smell that bad actually.
Did you really get up in there?
I did, I swear,
Okay.
and it had the viewing session.
What was
sections
your
and
favorite
the-
part of the park? Was it the animals?
I mean, yeah, the animals. I like how consistently you can see them, and you don't have to worry about missing them because you know where to look because the cars slow down. People are literally like peak or what do you call it?
Voyeurs.
No, rubbernecking.
Oh yeah.
Like so easily. So you don't have to worry about missing anything. And if you love bison, like they're fucking everywhere.
True.
So I mean, they are pretty cool.
Okay, so did you do like hikes? Did you get deep into the wilderness, or
I went to Lamar Valley, which I don't know if you went there. It's kind of like the plains part, and I was gonna do a hike there, but the day that I went, it was kind of rainy and gray and like pretty windy and chilly, and I was like, And it's more in like the flat plain, not much in the woods. It didn't look like, so I was like, I'll just sightsee today. So I didn't do a lot of like deep woods stuff. It was more like pulling over. I did like Observation Point and the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. You know that part with the
I've
waterfall.
never been there?
That was pretty cool.
So we did 2 days of hiking and a day on the lake because we had the dog. So you
Right.
can only take them so many places.
The lake was beautiful. If I'm thinking the right lake, it was really nice.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very large and there's boats like galore. And
It'd
there's
be
like an
so
island
fun
in
to
the middle.
ski up there and tube.
I didn't know if you meant water.
No, yeah,
Oh,
water
right.
ski.
But I don't know if I did the observation points. We did a lot of driving around.
Did you see
but-
any waterfalls?
Yeah, a few of them.
Okay.
But I just
You
don't
probably
know.
did.
Okay.
I
So
feel like
I'm
those
not
are
exactly
like
sure
past
which
like
one
Old
was which.
Faithful and all, right?
It's kind of the opposite way.
Overall, how would you
Like-
rate your trip? Use decimals. We don't use round numbers.
I would say like 7.5, 8 out of 10. I like Yosemite better. Sorry. I think Yosemite's a little better. I like.
Okay,
I
well,
prefer
hold
that.
on. If you were to
Yeah.
go back, would you spend more time around the Tetons?
Oh,
Would you
definitely the
wanna-
Tetons.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, like we were talking about, I really think it's cool the bike trails right there, and just like biking that at sunset, I think would be really fucking cool. And I know the Tetons would be that impressive, honestly. Like I didn't really think about it, but I think I would like to do that
Yeah.
more.
We weren't lying.
That's kind of where we were, but at the same time, like, I'm not the biggest nature person, so I was kind of in the same camp of like, for what you do, you drive up there and do all that. I'm sure people are coming from different parts of the country and they're like, fuck yeah, I love hiking and seeing all this stuff because it's not as regular.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, I drove up there and I thought the Tetons were fucking awesome as well, but we also had a dog, so we couldn't like go full
Yeah.
Yellowstone as some would
I
do.
saw a lot
So-
of dogs.
Well, also, I
was
think
like, what are you
like
doing here?
Tetons are more for hiking, and I bet like Yellowstone.
I'm not a hiker either, but shout out to me, I did it.
But I bet like Yellowstone, like I bet when you get like really deep up in like around Montana area Yellowstone, I bet that's really
I'm sure.
cool.
And
Very
the-
tip of the iceberg for us. We like went
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
like, yeah, like
I
but-
went to Old Faithful and then I turned around because I just didn't want to. I didn't feel like driving through everywhere and.
like,
yeah.
shout out to Yellowstone Golf Course and up there in Montana.
It's very like tourist friendly if you like don't want to hike. I'd say it's a lot of like you can pull over, see a beautiful scene, and they'd have like mini trails like, oh, do this 3/4 trail down if you want, but also if you want to stay up here you can still get a great view. So I think it's great for like, I saw a lot of people in like jeans and skirts and like not in hiking stuff, and they were fine. Like it's a good just stop and run through and look at all the things kind of park.
Nice.
So
Would you go back?
I would, yeah.
Best meal you had while you were on this excursion?
Yeah, did you cook it? Did you cook? Did you take out? Did you do basic Betty stuff?
I brought a lot of food, but I did eat around my hotel, which is by the west entrance. Very okay pizza. I had really good ice cream. I had double chocolate orange ice cream.
Cone or cup?
I had in a cone,
Nice.
but the cone was a little stale. But again, in small towns like this,
I love these backhanded comments. Cone was a little slow.
it was. But honestly, when I go to little towns, I have zero expectations.
Yeah.
So literally, like I went to a pancake house, like one morning, and I was full like the whole day. But the pancakes were like, eh. But again, it's like a small town, so literally, if it doesn't have like dirt in it, I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah, and it's a fucking tourist
touristy
town.
place.
Yeah,
I mean, but
I
sometimes
know the
touristy
feeling
places
well.
have better food. But like,
No, I mean,
So
it depends.
So
So,
do you know-
I don't get
I
mad.
love that. I mean, no, but at the same
I don't
time,
get
like,
mad about it.
if you're expecting a Michelin star restaurant on the Teton Lakes before you go into the national park, I think you would be mistaken.
That's
No,
very
but they have
true.
some Michelin-esque, or I think
yeah,
James
in
Beard
Jackson,
in Jackson.
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah,
that's a
by-
totally different.
Yeah. I
scene.
liked the town better in West Yellowstone than the Jackson Hole. Like I liked the vibe better. It was more
yeah, did you see all,
more rustic. I like that.
Hey, I
Like
get
that.
it completely. But at the same time, I'm glad you had fun, and I'm glad
was
you had a
fun.
little week to decompress. We needed you here. I don't know if
Badly.
you heard the
I
last
guess,
episode. It went for 90 minutes. And we loved every bit of it, but we missed you dearly. And we gave you multiple odes.
Oh,
We thought
boy.
about you. We sent you well wishes because we thought you would be listening. Did
Maybe.
you listen to either of the episodes?
I wasn't trying to make the drive longer, so I didn't listen to
ooh,
it.
sick burn.
that
Also
is a good
though,
one.
we
Damn it,
were
Eve, what the
we
fuck?
were mindful. Kip and I would
Mm-hmm.
look at each other and we'd be like, "Where are we?" And we'd be like, "Oh fuck, we're not gonna hit the 30-minute mark."
Did you
like,
think you were at 90, or did you have no clue until like that?
Oh no, we totally knew. We knew 15 minutes into that thing we were going over.
You're fucked.
But the one before that, I
Yeah.
think we did a pretty good job of.
It was just you and I. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
we stayed near the number. We were
believe
thinking
that.
about it. We had like
Yeah, yeah.
Eve in our mind.
Right, me looking at you.
Well, I'm glad this episode is nearly wrapped. I did something similar to Eve this weekend. I went to a little outdoor adventure myself.
How far away is that from Denver?
Okay, so it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's
Where'd
not
you
bad.
go?
Easy drive.
I went to a place called the Royal Gorge. It's a big tourist destination. They have a bridge. It's a gorge, and you can traverse across it. But the Arkansas River runs through there, creating that large divide of erosion. This one guy, Ty, shout out to Ty, he has these yurts and airstreams by the river, and on the other side of the interstate, he has a zip line course, and then he also has his river guides run the Arkansas River right down to the yurts. It's fucking fun. and it's very cliche. Like I've driven by them every weekend, you know, like on 70, but doing this all encompassing right here on this location. So you drive down through Colorado Springs and take a ride on some random interstate where they apparently have great chicken. We'll talk about that next. But it's Canyon City where they have the federal penitentiary that houses all the terrorists. Shout out to
So like on your way to Santa Fe and stuff.
kind of.
Yeah.
You would get off and go west a little bit
Or
before going
Taos.
yeah, you'd stay on 25 a little longer for that. But it's a small town, and on the outside they have this little restaurant called the Whitewater Bar and Grill, but they also around it have these little huts, almost like one of those Christmas scenes you see in like Europe that have like vendors, but their vendors are like storefronts, and it's like zip lining, you know, like showers and changing rooms, whitewater rafting, and then the guides all live in their property that shoots up the mountain. So they have this big square of property, and it's just like an adult fun zone. The bar is like what the number 38 is gonna kind of look like once it kind of finds who it wants to be. The food is just fun and casual. Like I had a potato that was the size of Eve's head. It was the greatest post I've ever made. I was so proud of it. I just turned the picture of my head sideways and put it next to a picture of the potato. It was fucking huge. It was like, do you remember McAllister's, the Mega Spuds?
Spuds.
But it was bigger than that, and they loaded it down with, we're in the southern part of the state, so pork green chili, and then they topped it with a hamburger and cheese and sour cream. It was brutally gluttonous. But you eat at the restaurant, they have live music, they have axe throwing and a volleyball court, and a fucking playground for kids. So it's like the place you go.
One-stop shop?
It's an oasis. It kind of reminds you a little Floribama-y. A little. Like a smaller, a little too family friendly to be Floribama, but by God, I thought about it.
So,
No shirt, no shoes, no problem.
all right, so first of all, how fun was the zip line?
So zip lining is actually pretty fun. It requires a little bit of hiking, which, as you know, is not my forte. Eve's shaking her head sideways. She just gave Yellowstone a 7.
I mean, what a harsh critic we have here.
I know.
Apparently
Sorry.
she hates our beautiful
I
mountains.
have a
love
little more
Yellowstone.
grace for going out of town and enjoying, you know, the company of others. But somebody else had been gifted this trip. And so I just sat in the back seat and had a blast. Obviously took pictures instead of being in the pictures, which is a foreign concept, as y'all can imagine, as I am quite me. But ziplining was awesome.
How long were you, like, when you launched off the platform, like, how long were you, like,
The longest one is a third of a mile. And so there's like a hand braking system for like the medium sized ones, but sometimes you're going from like the top of one semi baby mountain that you just kind of traversed a little bit to get up, and you shoot down to the bottom side of another. But they have one that goes 0.3 of a mile. And they're like, for this one, we actually have an automatic brake. So this guy's going to go first down there and get it prepared for y'all. And then y'all go one at a time. You go pretty fucking quick. And when you're on those medium-sized ones, you're on it for 15 or 20 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And then you have to brake yourself. And so, like, you see some people that are just, like, not figuring it out. Like, they're grabbing the rope instead of, like, slowly, like, dapping it, you know, like, slowing yourself down. And it's heavily dependent on your guides. Like if you get some squares, like if you get someone that's not out there to have a good time, there's like, here's the rules, or a stickler or something like that. Because the guides, and you kind of feed off their energy. And then it's just like the South Park in that if you're in a group, you're there for 11 runs on a fucking zip line. So you're with these people that you're with for as long, 2.5 hours.
like, you go from one and then you
Yeah,
suit
you're
up for
fucking
another
in another
one?
one. Yeah, you're just like bipping and bopping through this guy's property.
How'd that harness feel?
I thought I looked great in it, Chris. It really showed off
We have
parts
to wear a
of,
harness for 2 hours.
yeah, but
That kind of
That's a
sucks.
wedge.
it's not that strenuous. It sucks when you're climbing uphill because you just have like this metal on it, but it's not
Yeah.
like uncomfortable, you know. And I mean, it's not like I'm walking around like with a weapon, so it's not a big deal. But that, and then the whitewater rafting, also fun as shit. So Morgan and somebody else had the same offerings, and so we ended up, they were like, oh shit, y'all are here for the same kind of concept. And befriended, shout out to the couple that does dishing on Denver and the couple from the Colorado Galaxy. We had a blast with them. But then everyone's kind of the same camp, so if everyone's cool, you're with them. Like that, That's just how it is. Whitewater rafting, zip lining, like you'll see the same folks around, but you can do it on your own and that's not a problem at all. And you have a fucking blast.
Was the rafting, like, how long were we talking about? Like, how long were you in the raft? Were there some good rapids?
Oh yeah.
Or was it?
There's pictures of our thing that just folded like a fucking, like, think of a bowl bun, and we're just like the pork belly in the middle because we hit this rapid, and they take pictures and they post it in the bar so you can go in and laugh and buy the pictures if you want.
Nobody fell out?
No one from our boat fell out. Did Kip have a close call? Kip had a close call. Also in ziplining, right when you walk up, they're like, is anybody stoned, drunk, or pregnant? And I was like, just shut up. And you don't have to be completely sober. You can go out there and have a good time. But at the same time, they handle all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It's a fun experience.
Okay.
I feel just like Eve. I just did
So real quick.
8.6 for me. I had a blast.
Yeah. Eve apparently hates nature. So where you were staying, was that was on the grounds, like?
Yeah, it's like technically it's a 3-minute drive from the bar, just down the hill towards you're across the street from the zip line course.
Okay.
And so the bar's at the top of the hill, and then
Because those places look dope. Like how, what cost wise are we talking? Like how much for like
it's
a night or two?
$300 for a 2-bedroom yurt or Airstream.
Okay.
But there are other options in between that, and that whole area thrives on tourist season.
Are pets allowed?
We saw lots of animals. Yeah, we saw lots of animals. I'm sure you could take them, but if you're doing zip lining or rapids, what are they going to do? But at the same time, if you're out there to hike or like take your side-by-side, I would thoroughly recommend these spots because they're a little bit bigger, and when you break it down per head, it's not as bad. I mean, it's $75 per person.
If you stay at the place, does it include some of the zip lining, or is that all extra?
That's all extra, but you can get these deals where you get like lunch with your rafting.
Yeah.
So like you can, or you can do the longer rafting trip where it gets a little more strenuous, but they give you food on the river. And then the bar everything was $15 or $20 at the max. They had a T-bone steak on there that was like, a tomahawk that was $145. And I was just like,
should we?
no. I was given the quick no, but I mean, you are kind of curious.
What's the spot called to look up this info?
Okay, so the Royal Gorge Vacation Rentals, but it's just the Royal Gorge, like rafting, Royal Gorge zip lining. And they have this little simplistic logo of a mountain, but at the same time, if you could also look up Whitewater Bar and Grill, and like they're all just in cahoots together. It could even be like an organized crime family, and we don't even know it, but at the same time, for an I'm not doing anything.
Organized crime family sounds like it matches up because I mean, accidental death on the river, it happens.
And I mean, all the guides are really fucking fun, like cool as shit. Like they deal with adults and kids, but it's heavily dependent on who you're with. Like if you're by yourself, you may be stuck with other people you don't know on a zip lining or something else. And if you get someone that's gonna freak out every time, you'd be fucking miserable. But my experience was an 8.6.
Awesome. Y'all had fun.
Yeah, what'd you do this weekend?
Let's see. I had some tasty bites past week. And then I went and saw a little Mississippi Hill Country Blues.
There you go, Cedric Burnside.
I mean, dude, it's always so fun, but it's crazy now because he's so humble. He's won Grammys. And now he's like transitioned fully to the guitar. Because when I saw him growing up, and then like when we were in like college, he was playing the drums and just absolutely crushing it.
Well, it's been a family affair forever.
Yeah, and he's always been able to play the guitar, but now it seems like he's just playing the guitar. And it was great. It was at Globe Hall.
Yeah.
Which that was my first time there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so apparently, like they have a barbecue stall in there, which I wasn't aware of, but apparently people say it's pretty damn good barbecue.
They do a lot of pop-ups over there as well. We did the Clerks 2 one when they did those Moo Moo burgers.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
And then there's been a couple bands that have played over there. We've gone and caught. And they do like a bunch of pop-ups for like comic books and other artists too. It's a neat area.
So the venue is perfect for that kind of small juke joint vibe. Like it's a great intimate scene for I bet there was maybe 50 people there. But before that, I want to say we did go to McDevitt Taco Supply, the restaurant on the rooftop of that hotel. I think it's the Vibe Hotel.
Okay.
I think so. So let me just preface: these aren't going to be like your super authentic tacos.
Yeah, we know it's at the top of a hotel called
Yeah.
Vibe. We're pretty sure that it's not gonna be an authentic
But
taco.
I'm not gonna lie, the fucking salsas, they had like a salsa trio and they have a bunch of other ones with the chips. The salsas were banging. And the tacos, like, you can do the tacos like normally are like $5.50 per taco, but then you can get like a 3, sampler for $15. But dude, I'm not gonna lie, the tacos satisfied an itch.
There you
Like
go.
if you're looking just to like catch some good food and good cocktails and have like a good view out on a patio atop a hotel, I highly recommend it.
There we go. Hey, I haven't actually been there, but at the same time,
Because
a $5 taco at a hotel is about run for the course. So and we're not expecting something like, oh, here's a taste of like,
Mexico.
yeah, Oaxaca City. I get it. So
But the funny thing is,
interesting. He was glazing that place where Eve was like, these fucking tourist spots. The drastic
But I love
comparison
it.
is-
I love that it's
I know.
shitty.
It's a great paradigm. I
but the
love
funny thing is like this thing started out as like a little taco stand on Pearl Street, and now it's grown. So like people obviously enjoy it. The cocktails are good, and the tacos are satisfying.
Fuck yeah. And it's at the top of the Vibe.
Yeah.
Is it open for lunch, just supper? I'm gonna have to give this puppy a whirl.
I think it may be open for lunch.
Did you get flour or corn?
They only did flour,
Okay.
from what I can tell. I don't know. I was just ordering tacos. But that was good. But then also, another really good bite I had last week, besides Hey Kiddo and, some AJ's Hoagies, yesterday I went and checked out a food truck called Tostada.
Okay.
And the guys from Guatemala, nicest guy, shout out to Emmanuel. But, dude, really good fucking tostados. He's at City Park Farmers Market and Highland Square Farmers Market every weekend. So Saturday, yeah, and that's going to be the next food truck I ride up on. But yeah, dude, he had a breakfast tostado with a little bit of scrambled eggs on top. That was fucking great. And then he's got all kinds, but really good food and really fairly authentic, I would say.
All right. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. You would be remiss if we didn't talk about the restaurant affair that we went to support a good cause that Eve just bailed on completely. But on Thursday
I was looking
night,
at bears, okay?
yeah,
Oh,
That is
fuck, I
true.
forgot about that.
it's all right. It's all right, Chris. That's all.
Did
I'm
you
here.
wear red?
Yes.
Okay.
I wore some red.
Okay.
Not a lot.
I believed you would. I could see Chris being like, this is red enough and trying to skate by. Sorry.
No, I wore a fucking...
I can see that too. But he did.
What'd you wear?
He wore a red.
I had like a
collared
red
shirt.
snap, like Western style.
Oh shit.
Yeah, don't
I
at
didn't
me.
see Chris.
Don't at me.
Well, Kip didn't post it.
Well,
I didn't
Kip
see any
didn't
pics of
really
you.
wear a red shirt either. He
I
wore
wore a white
shirt.
shirt with a scarf that was paisley that was red, and then I had red and blue checkered pants that matched the.
That counts.
Thank you. But at the same time, red's hard to shop for. But I'll tell you what was not hard to shop for was a good bite at the Drink Red, Wear Red competition, presented by Colorado Restaurant Association for fundraising efforts for the Colorado Restaurant Fund Foundation. Yeah, fund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week was packed. I don't know how I forgot about that. But
Well, we led with being healthy and going outdoors, and Eve will trim some of that down for us, obviously. But we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Drink Red, Wear Red. Eve went with us last year in her first year, didn't go this year, but she missed one because I feel like it's getting elevated every single year. Like, people are bringing the fucking hammer. Like, the hits will always be played. Like, if you don't like starting with paella, get the hell out of here, because that's a wonderful kickoff party. But the Monarch Resort and Casino with the tartare and the bone marrow shoot, and then they brought the hammer with some Pop Rocks dessert and it was a beef tenderloin, I believe, and brought home the gold. But Coperta with the fucking shrimp that were plump and gorgeous with that green sauce.
Dude, that shrimp dish, that was my the tokens to vote on your favorite bite. That was a hard decision. I didn't go with the Coperta. I think you did.
I definitely did.
The shrimp was fucking fantastic.
Pate as well.
The
From
pate,
Latina.
that got my thing because Brasserie's pate is just so goddamn good.
Daughter Thai with the crab salad. STK with the sandwich. Now that's the problem with these food things. If you go sandwich too early, that bread's gonna clog up everything, and you're gonna have to really drink through it. And boy, did I drink a lot. Ruined that white shirt for sure. But we got out of there right as it started hailing on the east side. It looked like a murder zone on 70. And my Uber driver accidentally got off on that weird pivot where you would be going to 25. And I was like, oh no, we're going 70. It looked like World War Z. Cars were just parked everywhere under the stack on the north side of town. It was wild. I was like, just keep going. And she was like, fuck it. I'm not getting stuck under this. Shoot.
Was there lightning again this year? Remember last year there was, so we couldn't be on. We were on the roof, but then we had to like go in.
So they didn't kick us off the roof, but the party kind of went
was
a little.
good, though.
It went wider through the first floor of the museum, so you could kind of spread out and goof off, take pictures in different areas. And it was very perfect weather, literally until the very end. Like we drank them dry, and we called an Uber. And as we walked outside, we started feeling like the scropple or whatever they call it out here, where it's like a combination of everything. That's when we started feeling it. And as we got on to Colorado, it was like, shit was intense.
It's crazy because
You're the weather guy. How'd you forget that?
Well, we didn't even see it, but then like we luckily ducked out a little earlier than that. But I remember I heard from people like going out to the airport, it looked like it had snowed out there because people were like moving all the hail off the streets. Like it was intense. One cool thing that, I'd always been meaning to try the inventing room. I've never been by there, but they had that little setup and I got some of that ice cream. I think we should have an ice cream day one episode. And let's go to the inventing room because like,
I don't know what that is, but
okay, well, it's like this like crazy dessert place, but they do a lot of like liquid nitrogen, and there's all sorts of like kind of sciencey, experimenty stuff.
Let's go give it a whirl.
nerdy ice cream, essentially. It's nerdy ice cream.
Yeah,
All
exactly, and we're nerds.
So, by the way, when I used to live with Chris, if I would get ice cream, it didn't last. Like he is like Fat Chris would come back if we had an ice cream sponsor. He loves it. So I can see him propositioning this. And
You can't keep no pint is safe in the freezer. If it stays there for longer than a month, like I'm not going to eat your pint of ice cream the first week, but if it's over a period of time, it's gone.
Yeah, ice cream doesn't last a month. That's insane.
Well, Kip would like get one and then eat a little bit and then never touch it again. And I was just like, nobody's touched this.
No, it didn't last a week. And he's like, I'll replace it. I'm like, I don't care, but fuck, man. It wasn't even there. Lastly, if y'all want to come party with us and eat ice cream, we are going to be down at Spinelli's this Sunday for the chef showdown between Chef Tommy Lee and Chef Chase DeVitt from Uncle and Hop Alley, Brighter, and the new fan favorite restaurant, and I can see why, Boy Chick, that's now out at the Stanley. No, and it's still in Boulder. They're going to duke it out with some secret ingredients that I'm going to go pick out, and we're going to see what they cook up with it. But Spinelli's has opened a third location. Y'all may remember Jake and Cece from the Open Deli when we did our collab with Chef Amos Watts. They have the Spinelli's both in Park Hill and in Congress Park, and they've opened a third one. So we're going to go out there and party with them on Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. It's at 21 Fitzsimmons. Like, just type that in. It's an apartment complex, and there's a big-ass patio, like grassy knoll, and we're going to have those chefs duke it out with some secret ingredients. I'm thinking we put ice cream in the ingredients box and make them, like, do something with it.
That would be tough.
Either way, it's going to be fun as shit, but I may try to make them sweat a little bit and see if we can kind of create maybe a group box. We'll talk about it.
Do you
on
get to pick
Thursday.
one ingredient, or are you giving them like 5?
I'm going to give them like 5, and they have to make 3 dishes out of it. We kind of made this up out of thin air, so we'll see how it goes. But I think it'll be fun. Spinelli's East, right there. Just Google 21 Fitzsimmons. We're going to do it pre-City Park. Start around 2 o'clock. Be out of there well before 5 in the concert.
Awesome. That'll be fun. That reminded me, obviously Eve's not up to date on Top Chef, but god damn it, Michelle got sent home.
Yeah, to be fair,
And
Manny's getting some blowback because it was a close call there. I didn't like how that last one turned out. It was a little too close for comfort. It made me pucker my butthole a little bit. I was like, please no, but he's top 5.
Dude, but like, if Michelle would have just like not overthought it and done some like, think about like barbecue, throwing like barbecue out on a table and then like maybe some barbecue sauce aside. I don't know. I think she could have killed it. I really dislike the girl who came back from
Laura?
Yeah, I think, whatever. She will sabotage anybody. I think she did a hell of a meal this past time. That dessert, that thing looked awesome, but she doesn't care about anybody, which, I mean, is part of the game, but I just don't like her.
Yeah, it seems like, and it's maybe just that we're thinking from our perspective in Denver, where Manny is obviously from here or lives here, and
Yeah.
we love him and know him and things of that nature. But it does feel like our community here, it's like people team up and do goofy stuff in the weekends to help support one another. And it's like, that's kind of the camaraderie of the kitchen is like, hey, if one of us fucks up a dish, then we're all kind of in a pickle on, in whatever degree. So it's not as, there's not as much camaraderie there, but at the same time, she's a brutally creative chef. And we knew it in Last Chance Kitchen at our house. We were like, Laura's got this.
But yeah, but like if somebody were to like, how some of the other chefs in the competition will help out, like, hey, what do you need help with on plating or something? Laura would never do that.
I don't know.
I don't like her. I hope she doesn't win. That's my beef.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it more on Thursday's episode. We have a guest appearance as well. No spoilers this week, but get ready. And yeah, this weekend it's going to be a party. And next week, it's going to get real rowdy, Chris. We've got draft on Tuesday. Eve's picking the topic and sending it to everybody. So we'll have a draft on Tuesday, and on Thursday we have another interview next week, getting ready for Aspen Food and Wine. Thank y'all for tuning in. Eve, thank you for coming back safely. You don't seem nearly enthused.
I'm still tired.
And shout out to us for producing our own episode, Chris. We're not the smartest crayons.
Nope.
But either way, we're glad you're back. We've got a doozy of a couple weeks coming up. June is a big month for us, rolling through Rhino on June 22nd. And then maybe we take a break at the end of the month. Until then, y'all stay high, stay hungry.
Get outside.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Ooh, nice.
It's Pride Month.
Cheers.
See, I was going with the nature. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, I almost did. I
Damn
thought
it.
about
We
it.
should have brought that up earlier. Cheers.
It's okay.